I'm here at the Grolier Club with Chris Loker, who's the curator of the exhibit, 100 Books Famous in Children's Literature. So, how did this exhibit come to be?
This exhibition came about because the Grolier Club is interested to expand its Grolier 100 canon. Starting in 1902, we've had 5 previous exhibitions. This 6th exhibition focuses on children's literature, which the club has wanted to do for several decades. So I was pleased to be asked to curate this exhibition, and after 5 years of working with a team of individuals, we have this exhibition here today.
So, Chris, you're the curator of this exhibit, and you also own a bookstore. Tell us about the bookstore.
I do, Rocco. The bookshop that I own is part of a family business with my husband. My bookshop is focused on antique children's books. It's called Children's Book Gallery. It's located right in downtown San Francisco, and it's a bookshop I've run for the last decade, and it's something my husband and I enjoy very much doing together.
Well, I'm going to visit when I'm there this June for ALA. So the title, Books Famous in Children's Literature. What makes a book famous?
That's a very good question. The advisory committee that I put together and I spent quite a bit of time answering that question before we selected any books. Our conclusion was for this exhibition we would define famous as those books that were very well known in their time and for generations thereafter. In the process, demonstrating great literary importance and unparalleled popularity.
Now, you had a little help with this. You had an advisory committee?
Indeed, we did. I asked 9 individuals, both from North America and from Europe, all of them experts in some way, shape, or form on children's literature, to join me in this 5-year journey.
And besides the exhibit here, there's a catalog that goes along with it.
The catalog is something we feel quite good about. It is a 320-page hardbound volume. It contains 4 scholarly essays. It contains a description of each of the 100 famous books, and it presents a color photograph or photographs of each book in the exhibition.
What a beautiful book.
You haven't seen anything yet. Let's open it up and take a look. This set of end papers is what we call Dutch gilt paper. This is a reproduction of 18th century Dutch gilt paper from about 1740, and children's books were originally, in that era, bound at times in this kind of paper, and that's the reason we've chosen this for our end papers. This is the frontispiece and title page of the book. This frontispiece is a photograph of an original watercolor by a very famous and important children's book illustrator in the 19th century. His name was Walter Crane. This is circa 1865. It is in the exhibition here. It's actually the inspiration for all of the images that you see in terms of signage in this exhibition hall. And the title page, designed by Jerry Kelly, our esteemed book designer in New York City, is something we're very proud of. We're now going to take a look at the page that talks about Little Goody Two-Shoes, a book that many people know, at least in terms of the name Little Goody Two-Shoes. And you can see that the Dutch floral paper motif that we were just talking about is present here in the binding of this book. This, rather than a photograph, is a facsimile. Our book designer has given us the opportunity to see a little bit more of this wonderful and important early children's book by allowing us to have this tip-in showing us the frontispiece and title page of this book.
Is this the actual size of the book?
Yes, it is. It's a very small book, as books for children long ago often were. So we're now looking at the page regarding Mickey Mouse. And this is from 1931. This is Mickey Mouse, The Adventures of Mickey Mouse, Book 1. Mickey Mouse was actually first a cartoon strip, but this is the first time in 1931 that Mickey Mouse was in book form. So this is an important book for collectors, and of course, Mickey Mouse is a very important cultural icon.
So I understand there's only 1,000 copies of this book, but if a person's interested in owning it, how do they go about it?
They contact the Grolier Club here in New York City, or they can contact Oak Knoll Books in Delaware. They can do that either by phone or online to receive their copy.
A great gift for a KidLit person.
I agree.
We're going to take a look at some of the cases. And how is the show organized?
It's organized, Rocco, by theme. So we have themes such as nursery rhymes, fairy tales, poetry, girls and boys, animals, which is quite fun, fantasy, adventure. We have novelty books, and we end with toys.
Terrific. Let's go and take a look. So what's the most unusual item in the exhibit?
You know, we have not only 100 books, but we have 76 objects. Some of these related objects are very interesting in and of themselves. The objects that I'll point out to you here, in this case, are called horn books. You'll see 3 of them here, one that's wooden, one that's ivory, and one that's silver, surrounded by ivory. These were learning tools for young children in the 18th century primarily. They taught children their alphabet and often their Lord's Prayer. The reason they're called horn books is because the small wooden book on the left, the sheet that covers the paper, is actually a very thin layer of horn, and that's where these get their name.
Long before ebooks.
Long before ebooks.
Is there a book that you would consider the most important or most rare in this exhibit?
There are many rare and important books in this show, as you can imagine, Rocco. I will point out here one that is exceptional. It is the first edition, 1865, of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. This copy is utterly unique in that it is that important first edition, and added to it are the illustrations done by hand of the illustrator, John Tenniel. So this book is a copy that exists only here in this exhibition case. We have paired with the first edition the pop-up book, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, by the very important pop-up book artist, Robert Sabuda. We have both of these books open to the same page, which is Alice and the Flying Cards, and we think it is quite enjoyable for our viewers to see the 1865 edition of Alice in Wonderland and a 21st century pop-up version of Alice as well.
So what's the most recent book in the exhibit?
The most recent book was actually one that took us quite some time to determine. We selected Harry Potter, which you can imagine, and we selected J.K. Rowling's first British edition, which is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone from 1997. That book was reprinted a year later in America as Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. We have it here. This is the first edition that was given to libraries only, of which there were only 300, so we're fortunate to have one of those here. We also have been happy to be able to pair with this a replica of Harry Potter's wand and his round glasses and his Hogwarts scarf.
We're standing here in the middle of the exhibit hall, and what do we have here?
Well, we have the Children's Reading Center. We felt it was very important to be able to offer children and adults who visit the show an opportunity to interact with some of the books that are in the cases. So 31 of the 100 books in this show are still in print. So we have those 31 books here. Children can come and pull them out, read with a parent, and enjoy the books in their hands.
So I see the Bring Me a Book logo. What is Bring Me a Book?
Bring Me a Book is a wonderful nonprofit organization in California. It's a children's literacy initiative. They have donated the funds for this children's reading center, and we have manufactured here what we call book caddies, and these are something that can be purchased at Bring Me a Book, as well as these books that you see in front of you.
The exhibit is free and open to the public, and it runs until
February 7th.
So if you're in New York, I recommend you coming to the Grolier Club here on East 60th Street and seeing this great exhibit.